Okay, ready?
Okay, I'm recording. Oh, I'll take my glasses off because that looks bad.
It's a podcast.
That's a video.
Look at Dave's
This is the
face.
video.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just
Okay.
It doesn't matter. I can't fix it. Can I fix that?
Can I fix my face?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
Anyway. Hey, this is Due To Underwhelming Demand, the podcast that starts like none other.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's for sure.
This podcast, by the way, should be listened to the same way Kim Kardashian prefers to have sex.
Which
in
is
the,
how?
In the dark.
Okay.
Am I right, Forman?
You are right.
I am right.
But that was the rhetorical question.
Speaking of faces.
Okay, I've got my beer today, Forman. That's
Perfect.
Can we start? By the way, we're Dave, Rachel, and Forman. This is our little show. I had a friend ask me if I was still doing a podcast, and I said yes. And he goes, "Where would I get that?" I said, "Well, wherever fine podcasts are available." He didn't know. And then he goes, "Well, what do you talk about?" And I went,
I don't really know.
I really don't know.
What do we talk about?
I don't know.
This
people are like,
conversation.
what's your podcast about? I'm like,
I don't know. I don't know.
We can't
Anyway,
quantify that.
I had something happened just yesterday. It's fresh in my mind.
Oh,
I'm going to tell you this story.
I had something happen yesterday too, but I'll go next.
Okay, good.
You go.
All right. Well, I'll go
You
first.
go ahead.
I'll go
fine.
first because I think yours is probably way more fun and
You
and
think
entertaining
so? I'm
than
not sure.
what happened to me.
Okay.
So yesterday was a not a bad day here in this area. And we had some friends who were coming over for a little late day cocktails and then dinner. And we're going to be outside because
it was a nice day.
Yeah, it was
You
nice.
put your pineapple decorations
No,
out?
we don't have that. Every time I say I have friends over, that's what you want to know.
Yep.
Slip
them upside down, David.
I don't know why. Anyway, so we can't really entertain in our house right now is because both of you know there is some renovations happening, and it's a bit of a mess here.
Yeah.
But we have a pool. I'm lucky enough to have a pool in the backyard. And and a little cabana out there where we can entertain, and we can also sit there and we have a barbecue out on a deck, and we can cook and have supper and all of that stuff. So we're outside. There's music playing. We're having conversations. We're talking about a bunch of stuff, and the ladies go inside. And they were taking some dishes in, and I think they were working on some of the supper details. And it's roughly 5:30, 6:15 in the afternoon, or late afternoon, or early evening, whatever you want to call it. And so I'm talking to my friend. I'm on one side of my little bar out there. He's on the other. Except I'm looking out at the pool, and he's looking in at me. And out of the corner of my eye, I see something. No.
Oh, I thought she was just
no,
appeared.
No, I see something out of the corner of my eye, and I went, "Oh, look at that." And walking along the perimeter of my fence would be the east side of my property is at 6:15, 6:30 in the early evening hours, a skunk.
Oh boy!
Oh, I thought you were going to say raccoon, a skunk.
No, a skunk. And I don't know.
No good.
I don't know what my friend and I were discussing, but I kind of went, have a look over there. And he turned to his right and went, "Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh my."
Yes. Let's run inside.
Better text the girls.
Stay in.
Yes, that's exactly. Don't come out. There's a skunk out.
But it was on the other side of the fence, right?
No. It's on my side of the fence.
Oh,
but it's
boy.
But it's walking
on top of it.
No, just walking. No, walking on the ground, walking along the perimeter.
But it was on your side.
On my side of the fence. Now, in fairness, I don't think it could have got under that fence. But I have a hedge and what do they call that? A wrought iron fence that's on one side of my property, and I assume that's how
it can get through.
The skunk got through. And so it's wandering along right up tight to the fence, which is not really close to us, and it's paying absolutely no attention. It's got its nose kind of to the ground.
Good.
That's
what you want.
Well, skunks are looking for grubs. That's what they tend to feed on. Now, it would be in an area around the pool. There are stones, no grubs, no grass, no nothing. So it walks along the east perimeter and then heads down the north perimeter. Oh, that's the Boohag's side of the fence.
All right.
And so it's going and it goes all the way down, and now it's around my deck, and I can't really see it, but I wander around and I take a peek and I go, oh, there he is. And then he went under the fence, and now he's headed toward the front yard. So I went, and the girls are now looking out the window.
Yeah.
To
What's
see
going
if they
on?
can see what's
Yeah.
going on.
Mhm.
So I wander around the front, and the skunk has somehow found its way into my neighbors, and it can stay there for all I care.
Great.
That's all I care about that.
So the Boohag was involved in this story.
Well, not yet,
of.
not kind of.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure that she at any point was aware that a skunk had entered her backyard, her domain. And I don't know whether it was able to feed itself back there. But it's very unusual for a skunk to be out at that time.
Yes,
of
it
the-
is, yeah.
Because skunks, as you know, Rachel, Forman, I know, already knows this. Skunks are crepuscular.
Crepuscular?
Yeah.
Crepuscular.
What's that mean?
I spell that every day.
Look it up. Crepuscular.
Is that nocturnal?
Yes.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what they are.
I
They're
didn't
nocturnal.
even know there was a
Crepuscular.
different word for
Q.
Yeah.
crepuscular.
Friend,
C-R-O.
my very friend,
C-R-U.
that
P-U.
same friend that was here
Crepuscular.
yesterday, texted me and said, skunks are crepuscular. Crepuscular.
I
And I'm
need
like,
to know
okay,
how to
whatever.
spell that now.
Crepuscular. Crepuscular.
Obviously.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Crepuscular. Ask
Okay.
your neighbor. Isn't he an animal guy? He'll know.
Yeah,
He'll
he's
get-
like Survivor
if
Man.
you say to him, "Hey, are skunks crepuscular?" He'll go,
Yeah.
"They certainly are."
He might.
What-
I will ask him that actually after this.
What other
podcast.
animals are crepuscular?
Crepuscular mice. I looked it up.
All right.
Raccoons.
you've already looked
Raccoons.
this up.
Raccoons. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
Raccoons,
and then
yeah.
let me tell you why.
Are rabbits? I feel like
Why?
rabbits might be.
They're
Yeah,
rabbits
they
are out
might
during
be a
the
little
day.
bit, and even deer. Although you do see deer in the daytime.
Mhm.
Right. Okay.
Anyway, so one of the last
you learned
things that I
something
looked
new. This
sure
is
do.
a learning podcast.
That's
we needed
right.
We needed
That's
a
right.
theme. We needed a category.
Here we go.
Education.
You're learning. You're learning
Educational.
stuff.
Yeah.
What animals are
Yeah.
crepuscular, and what is Dave doing with pineapples?
Yes. Well, I don't have pineapple.
Apparently
Anyway,
nothing.
so the last thing the last thing I did on my phone last night was Google what do I do about skunks on my property, because and then my crepuscular friend says to me, he says, do you have any mothballs? I said, oh yeah, I got lots of those. I carry who doesn't have a storeroom full of mothballs?
Okay.
So I Google,
Don't.
what do you do about a skunk?
Yeah.
Now, Google when you there are several methods, things to do when you have maybe a skunk that's entered your yard, or how to get a skunk out of your area. I don't know if the skunk is coming back. First time I've seen it, but I don't like seeing them, that early in
No.
the. So
Was he ever digging? Because if he wasn't digging, I feel like you don't have grubs, and then he's not coming back. He's like,
Well,
nah, this
he-
lawn's out.
well, there's no lawn where he was. That's the thing. He's
Oh.
around the pool, so
So he
there
was
isn't
looking for
really
a
any
lawn to
grass.
dig at.
He would be,
Yeah.
but he wasn't where my lawn was. Anyway,
Okay. Yes.
this morning, the alarm went off early because I have a teenager who had to be at work at 7 a.m.
Ooh, that's early
and
for a
somebody has to drive her to work.
Mhm.
She had
On a weekend.
on a weekend.
It's absolutely going to
So
be
this
bad.
this alarm shocks me out of bed, and as I get up, I think it's already light out. It's like 6:15 or 6:20. For some reason, I felt like I just should look outside at my pool. I don't know why. I don't know what.
Uh-oh.
I don't.
Maybe a
Just-
smell in the air,
Yeah,
perhaps.
No, there was no odor. It's just I was compelled to just look out at my pool. And I did. I opened the blinds in the bedroom, which leads out to the backyard. And lo and behold, doing the front float in my pool is a skunk.
In the pool. That's odd.
Do you think? Do you think, Rach?
Yeah, I've never had a skunk in my pool.
Well, this is a cautionary tale,
He
then,
must
isn't
have been
it?
like,
Mhm.
well, for the skunk, I guess. Yeah.
No. I think it's a cautionary tale for pool owners. I'm
Okay, so
lucky.
if you see a crepuscular
Yeah.
skunk in the daytime, you
Crepuscular.
may see
You
him
don't
the
call
next morning in your
skunks-
pool.
You can't. No. Skunks are crepuscular. They're not crepuscular skunks.
Well, if they are, he's a
He's
he's a
a-
nighttime
he's a
skunk,
cro- yeah.
but he's in the
Anyway,
day. Isn't that right?
So turns out, anyway, long story.
There's so much to learn about this
Long
word.
story short, so and also up with the alarm is the teenager's mother.
Okay.
And so I said, "Hey, go have a look at the pool."
Mm-mm.
And grab
She
a
goes-
net.
and
Yeah.
she says,
Take the net with you.
"What is that? What I think it is?" I said,
Uh-huh.
"Pretty sure it is."
Yeah,
Yep.
it's black and
So
white.
she says, "You gotta get a picture." So because I've got
Yeah.
to send this to my friends
Uh-huh.
who were over last night.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, because they at one point said, "Well, this could be a topic for your podcast." And I
Yes.
thought,
Yep.
it could be, but it's not really that entertaining.
They're learning what we talk
Yeah,
about.
a
Right.
skunk just
They're
wandered
learning.
through my yard's not a big deal. But when the skunk decides to put an end to, things,
He never wants to leave.
yes, exactly. Then maybe it comes full circle, and maybe I do have a story. But
Well,
first
the
things
good news
first,
is,
yes, we got a picture of him while he was alive.
oh,
In
we
case
did,
you
okay.
need it, for a
Before
social
and
slip.
after?
Yes, before.
Yes, I do
And
need that.
and I have a solid picture of an after picture
of the
for you.
after,
Yeah.
definitely. That's
Which
a
I texted
final photo.
early this morning to my friend and said, "Oh, because she had sent me this. Oh, here's the skunk because I didn't get a picture of the skunk, but
Oh.
she did, and she sent a picture.
The
of
before
skunk.
picture, you
Yeah, the
mean.
here
Yeah.
skunk pics was her last text to me.
Skunk pics.
So I sent one. I sent one back and said one final skunk pic.
Yeah.
and
Last
I
one
did,
ever.
and I want a final. So anyway, the skunk. Now then I thought I would.
Wow,
ask,
there's even
since
more to this story.
Well,
I can't believe.
I want to know exactly. Well, what process do you go through to remove a
Yes.
skunk from
I'd
your
like to
pool?
know what type
You
of
scoop 'em up
utensils you were using.
With your net, right?
I
mean,
don't
you
think a
gotta
net
get
would
'em
be
out of there.
strong enough. I feel like that
well,
would be quite
they
a significant amount of weight.
They're
Yeah,
bigger. They
maybe a
are.
shovel.
They're a pretty big animal,
Yeah.
and
Especially when
I, and I,
waterlogged.
Oh God.
like
Do they stink when they're waterlogged?
Well,
They might release.
that was what I was
Oh,
worried
my.
about. That's what I was
No.
worried about. There
Because I was going
no-
to say the good
No.
news is the skunk isn't a problem for you anymore. But now you've got to get him,
Well,
put him
there-
somewhere.
There is that happy ending. Not all endings are happy. In this case, there's a happy part to the ending in that I don't have to worry about. I
Yes.
assume it's that particular skunk.
Is there
and
still
I
a hole in
assume-
your front yard?
No, there's my, and I assume that particular skunk, because as we now know, skunks are crepuscular,
Mhm.
may have been slightly off anyway. Maybe not right. Maybe not.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway,
What do they say? They have they distemper or something.
or rabies
Or-
or what
yeah.
they could have, many things could be wrong.
Who knows?
Anyway, I don't know about any of that. All I know is I believe the skunk had gone for a swim early in the evening.
Yeah.
Maybe after we went to bed because it
Was that early in the
was-
evening when you
was-
went to bed?
stiff as a board getting out of the pool. I
Oh,
will tell
boy.
you that. Like
So how did you
it
get
was
him out?
well. I used my little, the thing that I get, the scoop leaves and everything else
Okay,
out
so
of.
the net.
But it was heavy.
Yeah.
And that I don't call that a net. I mean, I do have a net for critters, but this was
Oh.
that's certainly the biggest critter I've ever pulled out of the pool, and I
Yeah.
pulled out, lots of critters. But
Right.
that's the
Yeah.
biggest.
We usually
most
just have
unusual.
mice or birds. Actually, we get birds in the.
I don't get a
know
lot
why.
of birds. I've had frogs. I've had
Oh,
frog,
frog, yeah,
I've had
no.
bunnies.
There's the next topic. What have you found in your pool?
Well, that's a
I
new one.
Have you
literally
found
never
a skunk?
fished a single critter out of my pool in St. Thomas. I'll have
What?
Well,
You
there
lived
you
on a
go.
field. You backed onto a field.
100% less critters.
Maybe,
But it was an above ground
Maybe.
pool, so it's harder for them to get in.
maybe.
It was
Or
an
it's like on-
on-ground pool.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
wasn't like it wasn't
Maybe.
like level to the ground. That's
Maybe.
what I mean.
I
I
lured
don't
the
know.
mice to my bucket of antifreeze instead.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's
Oh my.
I don't.
Okay.
Please keep in mind, Forman said that, not Dave. However, I would like now to put Google's list of how to get a skunk out of your backyard. They should maybe add to it pools.
Right.
Pools, they work.
So where
somehow.
are you going to bury him? What do you do with it? You just stump him in the
This is
goat
why I
head's yard?
asked if the evil empire left a hole in the front yard.
No,
yeah,
well,
because if
they
there was
did.
still a hole, you
They
could
did,
dump
but
him in there.
I'm not about to give him a decent burial. This, there's a couple
Well,
of
you gotta
ways.
get rid of them.
There's
Plop
a-
them in there
there's a
and give the
couple-
workers you
there's a
loathe a
couple-
nice surprise.
Yes.
couple.
They'll just think that the skunk fell in and died. And then, lesson learned, don't leave a big hole in the yard.
No.
Bing, bang, boom, you've solved all your problems. David.
Well, I wish it was that easy, but it
Yeah.
wasn't. Listen, there's the city provides us with great big garbage pails in our green space.
Yeah.
Space. Yep, we have a few green spaces, of which they say please no household garbage. I consider a skunk to be not. I think that's not household
Not
garbage.
household garbage.
Yard
So he
waste.
was-
That's
yes.
yard waste.
Yes.
That is yard waste.
A lot of people put their dog poop and everything else in these things.
Sure.
So I feel like,
A
although
skunk is-
I
yeah,
don't,
that's fair.
anyway, that's its final resting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. It's not on your property. so.
It's not, not
Yeah.
there. And
Although
Until all his
I
friends
feel
come
like
looking.
I hope
leaving a surprise for the evil empire, I feel like would have been that would have
Yes.
been.
Well, I have an update on
Fitting.
that, which I'll share with you later. But yeah,
Okay.
okay. This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast, the Pepe Le Pew of podcasts. Slightly charming,
Today.
a bit annoying, and kind of stinky. Yeah, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, we are. Okay, you were talking about your weekend. I had something happen this weekend too.
Oh.
And I talked about this way back. This is episode 37. I talked about this on episode 16 because I checked.
Oh,
Wow.
This is the drone that is annoying people in my town. Okay, there's a
yes.
drone flying over everyone's houses, backyards, flying everywhere and annoying. And so you might remember, and if you haven't listened to episode 16, here's what happened.
Why are you starting at 30?
yeah. What are you doing in
Why
the?
are you
yeah.
starting
I mean,
here?
welcome.
Nobody.
Thank you.
To refresh your memory.
yeah.
Don't go to the last page first.
We recommend starting with episode 1.
Right. Okay, so to refresh your memory, a friend of mine had posted, and she said I could read this on our local town Facebook page because everybody has one of those, right? She says, please keep drones out of people's backyards and away from windows at night. Some people have hot tubs and or saunas they paid a lot of money for and enjoy using. Some people might get naked. Some people might forego the use of towels. It might get weird, real weird. And then she goes on and says, kindly piss off. So it's actually a really funny thing. And there was 48 comments on that because people had seen the drone. That was back in December, okay? This weekend, we see the drone again in our, we saw it twice.
By the way,
within less
that
than
town,
12 hours.
That town that you live in is well known for, people running around naked in backyards. And
I
stuff
guess
like
so.
that.
Yeah, I've heard that.
That's what I've
I don't
heard.
know if that's,
Yeah.
I don't know. if
Forman,
that's true.
can you concur, or is that what you've heard?
No comment.
Anyways, it annoys me because I've seen the drone and I've heard, actually, you hear the drone before you see it. And
Of course.
we're all
Yeah.
assuming
That's right.
that it's the same drone. So this is a hot topic in our town lately.
You don't
And maybe
really.
this happens in your town too,
you-
because
you-
I think this happens a lot now that
Not-
so many people have
it's
drones.
pretty boring little area you live in if that's your hot topic.
Well, it is one of them. So somebody else posted on the page, on the Facebook page, is anyone else getting creeped out again by a black drone? It needs to stop hovering outside our windows. And there's 35 comments, including me, who said, yeah, so annoying and intrusive, because it is.
Yeah.
So we saw it. We were out Friday night, 10 o'clock at night. We're out having drinks on our deck with some friends, and we hear the drone hovering over. Because you can hear it, right? But it's dark because it's 10 o'clock at night and it's dark. So we're thinking, what could this drone possibly be looking at? Because they have cameras, they have video cameras. So I don't know if they're taking pictures or videos or what they're doing,
Have to be.
but it's dark at 10 o'clock. So I don't know.
Well, wait a
Unless you
minute.
have a red light camera, you can see it's like
How do we know there's even a camera
night
on this
vision.
thing? How do you know it's just not some kid's
Well, all
drone?
drones have cameras.
Do they?
Yeah. How
I
would they
think
know
so.
where it
What's the
is,
point?
if, especially in the dark, when
Yeah,
you're the
you can have
flyer?
I've seen.
Yeah,
you
you
can
wouldn't
buy.
need- if you
can
didn't
buy
have
a
a camera-
drone that flies without a camera on it. You
Can you?
fly.
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a
kids-
kite.
Well, yes, well,
kite.
it is. It is. It's way better than a kite, actually. I wish kites were battery
I
operated.
don't know. Drone. You can get pretty good drones for
If it
just
doesn't
Well,
have a
sure you can,
Camera,
but you don't.
like
you
it
don't
would
even
just
know.
fly off
Funny.
into the distance. You never see it again.
There was
You
a
wouldn't know
couple
where
of
it
kids,
is.
couple of kids in my neighborhood. They ring the doorbell and they, hi, Mister. Can our drone fell into your backyard? I'm like, it did.
Yeah, but
let's-
how do they
Well,
know
let's go get it.
exactly-
Like.
Well, then if it doesn't have a camera, they're not flying it that far. But whatever this drone is, nobody ever sees the owner. So they're standing in their house
Yeah.
or their backyard and flying it around, and they can see with the camera where they're going, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Anyways, people are not happy about this drone. Somebody says, yeah, it was hovering over our pool the other day and outside the kitchen window. Somebody has said that they're going to shoot it down with a pellet gun, which I think is a very good idea.
Well, when it flies over has it flown over your backyard, Rachel?
Yeah, it's flown over the backyard. Yeah,
how high is it up? How high up is it?
Oh, it's like probably 50 feet in the air. Like it's hard to see. You hear it because you hear the propellers like zzz,
sure.
So we see it 10 o'clock Friday and then 2 p.m. the next day. So this person is flying it again and we can hear it and then we see it because it's daytime. So we can see it in the daytime. So people are angry about this. They're commenting, I think someone should shoot this thing down with a pellet gun, but I don't even know if that's legal. Can you do that? Like, how do you get rid of drones?
If it's over your property, sure.
Can you call the police?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, then I asked a friend, and then my friend was like, no, you can't discharge a firearm in this neighborhood. Like, that's illegal. Like, if it's maybe on your property or a farm or something like that, then I guess you could. But in, like, a neighborhood, you can't. I don't think you can discharge a fire. I don't know. I not that I have a pellet gun. What if you got real good with a slingshot? Could you do that? Like, I need to know, how do we fix this drone problem? And so people are commenting. They're like, who is this person? Name him. We want to know. And then somebody else says, name him. I'll go make it stop. Because nobody knows who it is, right? And this person's just sitting back. Who even knows if they're even on Facebook, right?
Probably not.
Yeah. And everybody's posting, it's on my street. It's been on my street. Whomever it is, better not try that at our place. Somebody else says, send it my way. I'll give them something they don't want to see.
That's why they're flying it. They want to see those things.
Exactly. What a creepy thing. So then Jeremy says the other day, he's like, we should just put a sign. Because I said, I want to say like a sign that says F off drone.
Yes.
And he's like, we should put it on our gazebo roof.
Yes.
So that they see it in the air, right? Like then the kids don't see it. Because I don't want to put it on the ground, but he was like, we should put it on the gazebo roof. And I was like, I actually want to do that. So they get a message. Like if this person's clearly not seeing all these messages that people are angry. Or so maybe they are and they don't care.
F off drone on your gazebo.
Yeah.
Whoever's operating the drone will go, oh, well, I better stop now.
Yeah. Don't you think that would work?
No.
Well, if I'm flying the drone, I would exclusively only fly it over the yard from now on.
Because if you're that annoyed by it, you must be doing something in your backyard that I need to see.
Like well, I'm not, but I don't I think it's intrusive. Like I think there has to be laws against drones. Like there has to be flight laws. There has to be. Right? Like that's just
how many flight patterns go over top of your backyard?
Well, a lot actually. But they're so high, it's not like you're seeing people. Like airplanes are high. Drones can go like 10 feet above my head if they want.
Right when you go to the Transport Canada page about drone, the first sentence is drones are aircraft, which makes you a pilot.
Oh, there you go. That's interesting.
When you fly your drone, you're sharing the skies with other drones and aircraft.
There you go. So you need to look for a pilot then.
But nobody knows who they are. And this is it's just annoying everybody in town because they all know they all know about the drone. We just don't know who the person is.
You need a valid drone pilot certificate while operating.
I didn't know that.
Really? Okay. Well, there are like my husband works for a TV station, so they have drones that they will use to take footage of things for events or whatever. So they actually do have to get licenses, like the people who operate those drones, and they do have rules because it's a company that they have to abide by.
It seemed to me, I recall somebody worked with, it wasn't necessarily with us, but we were involved in Rock the Park, and they wanted to do a drone thing. They were going to take photos, and I think we would, from the stage we would say, "Hey, there's a drone up there. Everybody smile for the drone," or whatever.
Which was okay because legally that's a public park.
Right.
And if you're in a public space, then yes, you can get your picture may be taken, right? Yeah. If you are out on if you're on a sidewalk or something, if you're on the road, then that's a public space. You could have your picture taken legally. But if I'm in my backyard, that's my private space, right? And that's my property.
Yeah, but how high up is private? How high up is private?
I don't know.
How high up do you own?
Listen to this.
I don't
Privacy
know.
laws may not mention drones by name, but these laws do apply to pictures, video, or other information collected by a drone. It's important for you to be aware of privacy rules when flying. Some violations of a person's privacy may go beyond privacy laws and may be offenses that result in charges. This includes
I hope so.
using
You need to find
drones
this person.
in a way that could be voyeurism, mischief, creating a nuisance,
Yes.
and violations of provincial or municipal laws.
Well,
How
thank
about
goodness there's laws, and then now you just need to find this person.
Yes.
So maybe we should call like the police non-emergency line and report it.
Yes. Who has a drone certificate that lives in that town?
I bet you they don't have a certificate. I bet you they just bought a drone from a store and like started flying it around. People buy them
Could
for their
be.
kids.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's an adult or a kid. Even if it's a kid, the adults should be telling the kid, you can't fly over people's backyards. And
Yeah.
because it's, so many people are complaining. Anyway, okay, I'm going to look into that more.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we'll call the police.
Okay. All right.
It should be reported, I think.
I know you won't, but
Yeah.
I might.
I don't think
that,
you will.
you definitely won't.
And I don't think you're putting a sign on the gazebo either.
No,
I have some
absolutely.
cop friends I'll ask.
Ah.
ask.
You're not doing that either.
I
don't
can't put the sign up because if he's like Forman, he will stalk me.
Ah.
Wait a minute.
What does that mean?
You just said that.
Yeah.
You just
Fuck
said you would. You said you would.
This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast that's, like an ice cold bottle of Corona. Kind of skunky. That's why.
But better than a Bud Light.
That's way better than a Bud Light. Yeah.
But only for the taste, right?
Yeah, but
Not
that's
for
why you
the-
put a lime in it. You know that, right? Because it doesn't taste very good. Just saying.
Mm.
Yeah, that's why you put the lime in it. Somebody figured that out.
That is a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Good
Oh,
idea.
yeah, that's a good idea.
This is good idea, bad idea.
It's time for another good idea, bad idea.
Starting
right.
with one for me.
Okay,
One
what do
for
you got,
you,
Forman?
okay.
What do you got?
One for me at a mere $80 a bottle. The new product from Tamworth Distilling has unveiled a world's first. Tamwoods Distilling has unveiled Sylvan Mist, which is the world's first wearable, drinkable perfume gin.
Well.
What?
Well. Wearable, drinkable perfume gin.
Yes.
So you
So
can
I-
wear. Okay.
I don't
$80 a
know.
bottle. It's described as a woodsy unisex scent,
Okay.
combining violet leaf, chamomile flowers, juniper, balsam fir, citrus, and
yeah.
boronia flowers, and it smells like boreal forest, fresh cut grass, kiwi skin, and honeydew melon.
I don't know if I want to
Those are
drink
all
that.
very
Lovely
random
smells.
and distinct things.
Yeah,
in
but
their
I don't know
own
if I
right.
want to drink that. I'm
You
not
can drink it,
sure.
but it's not necessarily supposed to be the base of a cocktail because it's 151 proof,
Oh my.
which I think that is
Ooh.
quite potent.
That's
So, hold
that's
on, does this
very
come in-
impotent.
Impotent. Does this come in a spray bottle?
Well, they suggest literally spraying it onto a cocktail to add more flavor and more proof, clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is not something you pour into the cocktail. You spray. Are you supposed to wear this on yourself?
And where it's sprayed on yourself, sprayed in a cocktail.
So do you just
That's what-
smell like alcohol then?
That's right. That's what you want. You go into work in the morning and everybody goes,
Yeah.
dude's been drinking again.
Where have you
No,
been?
Yeah, he's
you
been
smell like
drinking
the
again.
forest, fresh cut grass, kiwi skin, and honeydew melon.
Yes, but at 150 proof, like that's a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, that's
Well,
a lot of
you're-
alcohol.
You're
That's it.
definitely going to smell like booze.
Well, if you need a pick me up in the afternoon, give yourself a lick.
Okay. Give yourself a lick. All
you need to
right.
pick me up. That
Great
would not,
idea.
That would not pick
Good
me up. It
idea.
would knock me straight out. Like,
I
I'd
don't
be
know whether
sleeping.
I'm not sure if it's a good or a bad idea.
I don't think that's a very good idea.
Okay.
I
Bad
think it's
idea.
interesting that you can spray it on a drink.
Yes,
I
and yourself.
Okay.
One
Well
for
then,
you,
yeah.
one for me.
Yeah, there you go. So it's a good
I mean,
idea.
you could use
Yeah,
it on
that's a
you
good idea. That's a
if
good
you're
idea.
going out
Sure, why
to
not?
the bar, like on your way
Yes.
out. But I don't
Yeah.
know if I'd use it going to work. You know?
Yes,
So I kind of
perhaps.
think it's a bad idea.
Yeah, but if in fact you use it to go out to a bar or to do
Yeah.
something like that, then yes, a great idea. Is it a good idea to wear to work? Probably not.
You
We're
Not a
can.
great idea for a
Okay.
job interview.
Mixed
But-
reviews on this one.
Yeah, not good
Mixed
for a ride
reviews.
program.
No, not good for a ride program.
Very bad
No.
idea.
You've been
No.
drinking? No, I'm just wearing it, sir.
Yes, I just sprayed it on myself. Right.
Get your bottle now at tamworthdistilling.com.
Okay.
There you go.
As
All
we
right
go
then.
on to another one that could be a good or a bad idea, mostly for my wife, Ashley,
What's that?
because it's now in a crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter.
Okay.
It's revolutionizing our interaction with marine environments. And here in Nova Scotia, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot
There's-
of marine out there. We don't have
Yep.
a lot of marine here, but
No,
okay.
no.
It's another AI situation where artificial intelligence can, transform our daily lives. And this will do just that, forecasting the risk of shark attacks with an impressive 89% accuracy rate.
Oh,
That's
great.
right. A shark attack forecast app.
Perfect. That's very useful.
They
might
literally
not
call
be-
it like a
No,
weather
it's
app
not.
for sharks.
It's
Perfect.
not.
I think even if you only use this one time, it's useful.
It's called Safe Waters AI,
Yep.
using a dedicated team of engineers and data scientists
Yeah.
who've collaborated to create a real-time risk forecasting tool
Okay.
using algorithms and analyzing historical shark attack data, marine weather conditions, and shark behavior. Safe Water AI equips beachgoers and water sports enthusiasts with potentially life-saving information.
I think that's an excellent idea.
You know
Good
what?
idea.
Is it free?
It's not an excellent idea, and here's
Why?
why it's
Should
not.
be.
It's a stupid idea.
No, I think that's
Bad idea.
very smart.
And for you to sit there and say it's an excellent idea is just you are so full of shit.
Why?
Look, well, I'll tell
That's
you
a
why.
great
I
idea.
will tell you why.
Can I swim
because
in the ocean? Are there sharks? No, you're good. Thank you.
Yes.
That's
Look.
it. That's great.
what are the odds, Rachel, that let's say you're traveling on the East Coast?
Yeah.
And let's say maybe you're at Martha's Vineyard, where, by the way, there's been a
Okay.
few sharks spotted, right?
Oh, have there? Okay.
Are
fine.
you and I have been to a beach off of Cape Cod where they have signs that say sharks have been seen in these waters.
Okay.
Right? I think I sent you a picture of, or maybe I
You
posted
might have,
it
I don't
somewhere.
know.
I don't know. Are you going in the water if you see a sign that said sharks have been known to frequent this area? Are you putting a toe in that water, Rachel? No, you're not,
I'm
are you?
probably not. No.
So you do not need.
I don't usually go in
and-
past my waist.
Yeah.
Like I go waist deep at most.
And Forman, and I know your wife Ashley is afraid of sharks in inland waters. She's afraid of
In
sharks
lakes.
everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
there's
blame her.
not
I
a
don't love
shit
fish.
in hell that she's ever sticking her toe into water where sharks might be. So who really needs this?
She's been swimming here. We go to beaches all the time all summer when
How
the
far does
sharks
she
are
go in?
present.
How far will she go in?
I mean, probably waist-ish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's it. And
The
if I
kids are
want,
in.
and then I sit down to get my shoulders wet, and then and that's it. I'm
We're
not going
sitting
in,
on the beach.
like our
doing
our
sharks
little.
coming in
Hey, look,
that
you
shallow of
sit
water.
down. That shark's got you then. Don't ever sit down.
The
Rachel.
shark doesn't come that close. They're too big, aren't they?
No.
We'll
no,
spend
no.
all day at a beach here in Nova Scotia, which is, Canada's ocean playground, as we all know.
Is it?
We'll be
Okay.
parked in our Tommy Bahama Costco chairs on the beach.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
And
right.
the kids are
Those are
using
good.
their kid-sized little surfboard things, probably also from Costco, and they're going in and out of the waves, and they're having a wonderful time out there.
Great.
But
Yes.
But do they frequently see sharks in those waters?
All summer long, yes.
Wow.
All
well,
summer
I'm
long.
impressed.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
impressed.
So this app is for you, Foreman.
Yeah, maybe.
I still think it's a good idea. I mean,
I'm not
more
suggesting
knowledge,
it's not a good
more
idea,
power, Dave.
but I don't think it's a good idea for you, Rachel, because you're not sticking your toe anywhere
well,
near.
it's not necessarily for me, who doesn't really swim anyways.
Okay, last one then, potentially for Jeremy, this last one.
Oh,
for
okay.
Jeremy.
Because how many Law and Orders already exist?
Oh, we don't
know.
even know. Remember,
Uh,
we've lost count.
We have lost count of how
No
many.
one's ever figured
Nobody
that out.
knows because
Nobody knows.
it's infinite. There's too many.
There's
Yeah.
Law and Order, SVU,
Yeah.
Law and Order, Criminal Intent.
What's the one with Mariska Hargitay? She's the only one I know.
That's
I
the
don't
SVU, I think. Isn't it?
SVU,
I don't know.
Special Victims Unit. Yeah, okay.
There's
I don't know what that
And
is.
I don't like those because it's sex assaults, and I think those creep me out. I don't watch it.
Do they have a Law and Order
about.
SUV
Yeah.
where they just drive around in a
SUV.
that would be a
They
good
probably
one.
do.
That's
You
a good
just
one.
drive around
That would
and
be a good
find
one.
crime.
Law and Order SUV.
Yes. When SVU ends, it's SUV that starts up.
That's right.
Takes it from there.
Anyway, okay. Is there more coming?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Is there?
God, I hope so.
Well, yes, joining
who
the list of
needs it?
shows, including Law and Order Special Victims Unit, Law and Order Organized Crime. There was a Law and Order movie, for goodness sake. At one
Really?
point.
There
There's
really?
a whole.
Oh.
There's an even longer list of various Law and Order video games. I kid you not.
There's video games?
Yes,
Wow. Whoever
Yes.
created this series is making a ton of money.
Dick Wolf
Yeah, Dick Wolf.
Okay, I've
yeah,
seen that
whatever.
name. Yeah,
Wolf
it's doing
has
well.
now created, and City TV is to blame or give credit to for
Oh.
greenlighting the newest installment in the mega franchise global sensation of Law and Order,
Oh boy.
which will be Law and Order Toronto Criminal Intent.
Oh,
my.
interesting. So we're gonna have our own
Interest-
Canadian Law and Order.
You find that interesting?
Well, I find it interesting because I'm surprised they're still in demand. I'm
Yes.
surprised there is still
Production
a
begins
demand.
fall 2023. You'll be
Oh,
able to
soon.
start seeing it spring 2024 on City TV.
Wow.
Based on the Law & Order global format, the 10-episode drama will follow an elite squad of detectives who investigate high-profile crime and corruption in Toronto.
Wow. So I'm surprised that people still want more. Do you not have enough? Is there not enough for you?
Have you ever seen an
There's
episode
demand
of
for
Law and
this, is
Order?
there?
Have you ever seen one?
Yeah, I've seen a couple, probably because Jeremy's put them on. Yeah, but
Exactly.
I don't really recall.
Have you, Foreman, ever seen an episode of Law and Order?
Yes, I have. Many, many years ago. Yes. But I have
Wow.
watched one to
I have
completion.
never, ever seen an episode
Ever?
of Law and
I
Ever.
bet you have, and you just
No.
didn't know it.
No, I've never seen
I
an
bet you
episode.
have.
It's not my. It wouldn't
I
be
don't
my.
think it's something you can avoid.
I don't think it's my jam. Has it been on when I'm flipping by with
Of
the
course.
remote?
Yeah,
Maybe, but I've never sat and gone.
I think Law
This
and Order.
looks intriguing. Oh, wait a minute! It's Law and Order. I'm
Yeah.
out. No,
Law
I've
and
never
Order
seen
is
it.
like those Canadian Heritage commercials. You've definitely seen them, but you don't recall it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like
Why poo, son?
So we're getting another.
Winnie.
We're
Huh?
getting another. We're getting Law and Order Toronto. All I want is another season of Ted Lasso, and I'm getting another Law. Now I'm getting Law and Order.
Ted Lasso. I
Like,
watched 2 episodes of that, and then it wants me to subscribe to Apple, which I thought I already did or had a free anyway. So now I'm torn between.
You
whether
watch
I
enough
wanna-
Blue Jays games,
pay
you'll
for
know
another-
that certain Friday night MLB games are only on Apple TV, but they will
Oh.
give you a promo code to get 2 months free, and that's how I finished Ted Lasso this season.
Really?
There you
I should
go.
Get Jeremy.
Yes,
Okay, good. I
exactly.
will look into that.
I have another way
Hot
that I
tip.
want. I don't
See,
have Apple.
educational podcast.
I don't have Apple TV either, Rachel, and
No.
I can watch and I can watch all the MLB games I want, but I'm not even telling you what I do. So it's
Fine.
Well, what I've
I'm
done
gonna-
is legal. What Dave's done
who knows what I'm doing.
is like flying a
That's right.
drone over Rachel's house.
That's right. I fly drones over people, so don't
yeah, okay.
don't go by me. Bad idea. No, no
yeah,
Law
I
and
think it's
Order
a bad
Toronto.
idea
No,
too. I don't
no.
think we need more. I
No.
think there's enough, and it's plenty, and now they're just being greedy.
I mean, obviously, Dick Wolf has paid so little attention to Canada that he clearly doesn't know that every time you make the Canadian version of insert show
Anything.
title here, it sucks, nobody watches it, and it's
Mhm.
canceled immediately.
It lasts one season, and that's it.
That's it. That's
Except for
exactly
Suits,
right.
which is filmed in Canada, but not necessarily Canadian.
Oh, okay.
What?
Well, Suits is filmed in Toronto.
Fucking everything's filmed in Toronto, but
I know,
none of
but
them
it's
are
not-
about. That's the good idea. Clearly, that's the money-making idea. Film your show in Toronto, but pretend it's Chicago.
Pretend it's
That's right.
Chicago.
Not
and,
that
pre-
it's
and pretend it's a
Toronto.
fire department in Chicago, a
Yes.
hospital in Chicago, and a
Yeah.
police department in Chicago.
But
Yes.
if you call it
Ching,
Toronto,
ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
No, there is another police show that is set in Toronto, but I forget what it's called.
yeah,
What?
because no one
No.
watches it.
I can't remember.
Rookie Blue?
I think it's that one. Yeah.
The
I think
Rookie?
I don't know. It's one of those.
Sullivan's Crossing?
I don't know what that is.
That's filmed in Nova Scotia.
Is it?
I mean, fine. Just got renewed.
What's the one that was in Newfoundland that everybody really loved? It was some show that was a Scottish name or
Come
Irish
From
name.
Away. That's the only thing I know.
No,
from
that was everybody did like that too. No,
something starring Gordon Pinson.
That's right.
it might have been. We might have been in that. I'm not sure.
Rest in peace.
This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast with Dave, Rachel, and Forman. We're just about to wrap up, but I thought before, and I know we have some messages and stuff, and we love to hear from you. So
Yes,
we're
do,
going to get to those. I wanted to give you a couple of updates. First, on my horrible, terrible, no good lawn or whatever I call it.
Oh boy.
I think the last time I talked about it, they had severed the sprinkler system, and
Yes.
I was trying to find both
Yes.
ends, and there was a big
Right.
hole in the thing, and it sat for a couple of weeks, a couple of very dry weeks where we've had no rain in this area. As a matter of fact, I think we're into like 3 weeks without
Yeah,
rain.
it's such a.
It's been a while.
You guys
Anyway,
have had
my
all
lawn-
the
my
lawn-
wildfire smoke
Yeah.
that we had.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, the lawn looks terrible. It's drying right out because I have no way to water it. However, the same individuals who severed said sprinkler line showed up the other day and started digging again. And I'm like, okay.
Again?
Again.
Like what more
I
could they
know, I just-
possibly need to find under
I
there?
just happened to see these guys, and there's two of them. They were really nice, and I said, "Hey guys, what are we doing now?" Because I had this hole, and one end of the sprinkler line was visible. Now I can't see it at all, and I don't know what they've done. I said, and they said, "Well, we're going to saw it," and I went, "Oh, that's
Oh,
very nice of
wow.
you." However, the sprinkler line. Oh, it's down there. So I said, yeah. And then I walked into my garage. By the time I got back out, he dug a little bit more because he's got one of those, a digging machine.
Okay.
And he's-
Bobcat or something?
Yeah, and he's uncovered the other end of the line and blah, blah, blah. So we have a little discussion, and he said, yeah, we'll fix it up for you. I said, you
Oh.
will? Yeah, we'll fix it up for you.
But how well?
These are repair jobs. They use clamps and everything else
Okay.
with the sprinkler line. Anyway, long story short, they severed my line in 2 spots in the front, and also severed it in another
my
spot on the
gosh.
side lawn, and it's all been repaired.
Wow.
There
Oh.
is no. Yes, they did repair it. The same
Okay.
people that
Wow.
destroyed did repair.
So you didn't have to do that yourself.
I didn't have to do that
Good.
myself.
That's
and
good.
they had been doing. I talked to one guy who was doing some of the repairs. He said, "Oh yeah, we're doing it all over your neighborhood." So
Oh,
I'm not the
my.
only one that's had
Of
that
course.
happen.
Mhm.
At this point, my lawn looks terrible. The sod hasn't arrived, and but at least the
But
sprinklers-
it's coming.
But the sprinklers work. Yeah, they work.
The sprinklers work. Okay.
And an update on
Well,
my
that's good.
poor sad ass. As you know, when I went to physiotherapy,
oh yeah, your physio.
my
Bob.
physiotherapy. I had
Right.
had issues where I was having it. It turns out, it was my hip and it was affecting my leg and blah blah blah. Physio. I'm a great believer in physio, and I will tell you right now that I am back playing golf. I am back walking, and I'm doing it for the most part pain free.
Oh, good.
I
Well, that's
played-
good news.
Yes, I played 4 rounds
Excellent.
of golf last week and walked all 4, which I love to do, and I was fine after all of them. My golf sucks,
Great.
but that's the good news. So
Good,
I'm a
good.
great believer in physio. And
Yes.
and I just wanted to add this. 2 or 3 days ago, my wife and I were out for a run together,
A
And-
run.
a run.
Wow.
and we're out running.
Back at it,
and-
Dave.
Oh yeah, I'm out running, and I noticed something. About 3/4 through the run, I thought to myself, "Hey, what's that I feel back there? What is that I feel? That's pretty tight.
Oh.
I think that feels pretty. I feel like instead of jiggling, I'm
My-
not jiggling.
My
anymore.
muscles are working.
Something back there feels, like it's, tuned up."
Yeah.
So
Okay.
when we finished, we were about 3 minutes away from finishing. So we run into the driveway, and as we're walking up the driveway, I said to my wife, "Check out my ass."
She said, I already did.
Yeah, and she goes,
Every
"I-
day."
I know what it looks like. I said, no. Put your hands on it. Go ahead, put your hands on it. And she said, she puts her hands.
Give it a
I
squeeze.
Said, feel that. She goes, wow.
Even she's impressed.
Yes.
She tore off your clothes.
Yeah, no, that didn't
You went
happen.
right
in there.
inside.
I wish that happened. That didn't happen. Anyway, the glutes are back.
Good job, Dave.
I'm a glute machine.
Glute machine.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got a couple messages that I would like to read because we love to read your emails, and we hope that you email us or send us a DM. You can comment on our posts, whatever. We'd love to hear from you. Our email is daverachelforman@gmail.com. No E in Forman.
Mhm.
So we have a couple of messages. Scotty sent us a message. He says, I've started downloading the episodes, but I can only listen on the drive home. I already listened to Forman on the way to work. So he must be out in Halifax.
There you
Yeah.
go. What's
So
his last name?
Scotty Gavin.
No way he's listening to this.
Yes. So Scotty listens to our post. So thank you, Scotty. Once you get to this episode,
Scotty,
you'll
welcome
know that
aboard.
Oh,
we
Scotty,
have
I'm
seen
so
it.
glad. Yep, Scotty is one of those. He's a type of listener who will call every day.
Yep.
But you want him to call because he's always going to say something funny to
Oh,
make
good.
your topic better.
Well done,
Oh,
Scotty.
that's good. Well done. Thank you so much, Scotty. So we're glad that you're listening to
Aw.
both the shows that we
Yes.
that we have. Foreman has one.
Especially now, because now my co-host is on mat leave, and my current co-host is the lead singer in a metal band with a face tattoo.
Cool.
Awesome. That
It
sounds
sounds
like a
all
great
right.
show, actually.
That's all right.
It's fantastic.
That's
Sounds
all
like a
right.
good show. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
that's working out.
All right.
Sherry sent us a message. She said, my husband and I just helped our second oldest move 5 hours away today. This was before today, obviously. 5-hour drive there, 5 hours home, so 10 hours. We always try and listen to your podcast together, but we've been so busy, we were way behind. Well, today we enjoyed 7 hours straight of us.
my.
Can you even imagine?
No.
No.
More times than I can
No.
count, we laughed out loud. Thank you for keeping
Wow.
us awake on our very long day.
I mean, that's what they
Wow.
do in prisons.
Yeah, that's they
They
do.
force you to listen to 7 hours of us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Some
Jeez
sort of
Louise.
torture.
Well, thank you, Sherry, and your husband for listening to us.
Yes, we appreciate
7
it.
hours of us.
That's
Jeez.
a lot.
Yeah.
I have
you.
a couple quick messages. Tracy wanted to say, you know how I had a dad hack,
Yes.
Yes, the
Yeah.
dad hack.
and then
Uh-huh.
I
Got in trouble for the dad hack.
Well,
Yeah.
then I followed up with the resulting publicity of my dad hack.
yes, of
Yeah.
course.
So Tracy says the
Which-
follow-up episode was by far the best one yet.
Okay.
Thanks.
I
It
love
wasn't
that.
a favorable
Mhm.
wasn't favorable feedback.
Mandy says only Forman, facepalm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Teresa says Forman, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Right? That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Pam says it was a great dad hack. It just wasn't quote unquote legal.
Right.
Dads always try to take the easy way out. Poor Foreman.
Yeah. Mhm. So how'd that end up? Like it was just they emailed you, you said sorry, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Well,
okay.
you recall that some of the verbiage in their emails was, oh well, we've never had someone with such great connections before involved in
Right.
the swim
That's
team
right, yeah.
on the radio.
Yeah.
And then
They're
Ashley
so
and,
kind out east, aren't they?
Well, and the lady from the swim club had many emails back and forth, and it seems like they basically ended up apologizing to me. But then I feel like for the next swim season, they're gonna be demanding a lot.
Yep.
You're gonna have to deliver for me.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah.
Wow.
Your
Dad
kid is
hack.
going to be in that club forever, and
Yeah.
you will eventually be the president.
Yeah. Dad,
Of
very bad
fundraising.
dad hack. Lousy dad
luck.
hack. Yeah, good luck with that.
Dad hacks turn out are more like boomerangs. They come back and hit you.